What it do? Dream team. It's your boy Neal back with another reaction video, guys. Here we are with Kaitlyn Amanda. 20 Australian foods that confuse Americans. Not your typical Aussie food list. Before we dive into these foods, I need you to dive into that subscribe button, ring notification bell, get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. Oh my God, Kaitlyn!
G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Kaitlyn and I'm an American living in beautiful Sydney, Australia. And as so many of you guys know, I love my Aussie foods, you guys. From meat pies to fairy bread to pavlova. I've even been converted to loving Vegemite over here. I love my Australian foods.
I was with you on the meat pie. Sound good. Fairy bread, I haven't tried, but could be good. Pavlova, I've heard lots of great things about pavlova. But when you said you've been converted to liking Vegemite, Kaitlyn. Can't buy it. Can't believe it. I was just playing around. I guess after some things are an acquired taste, and I guess Vegemite is you eat it enough at some point you start liking it, I assume.
And there are so many amazing foods in Australia, but sometimes the culture shock really hits when you're walking around an Aussie grocery store. Especially my first couple months coming over here, there were some food items that just blew me away. And this list that I'm going to share with you guys today is not the typical Aussie food list that you'll find on pretty much any sort of Australian themed YouTube channel. We're not going to be talking about beetroot on a burger or Vegemite in toast or fairy bread. No, this is stuff that really confused me as an American when I first came over here. So if you want to see what that list is, grab a Becky, grab a cuppa, and let's get right into this video.
Let's do it.
The first thing on this list were packs of those glucogel jelly beans that you see in chemists over here. Over in the States, you really only saw jelly beans around Easter time. So when I moved over here in December of 2021, I was surprised to walk into a chemist and just see packs of different flavored jelly beans everywhere.
She's not lying. Like jelly beans. Like, you gotta go to like a big grocery store, to like a Walmart or something, like in the candy aisle. You really gotta search for some jelly beans. You can find some gummies, but actual jelly beans, she's right. They're mostly out around Easter. They're like all year round. They're not really out like that. I've never thought about that. She's okay. Kaitlyn,
I mean,
right. Every
chemist, from the large chain places like Chemist Warehouse to the little mom and pop chemists, sell these glucogel jelly beans. And they're not bad as far as jelly beans go. If you like jelly beans, they're actually pretty good. I know a couple people who absolutely love these. But just as an American, it's so strange to walk into a chemist and see jelly beans everywhere.
Yeah.
On the second thing, and this is going to be a controversial one for some of you guys.
I'm a half and half jelly. I like the taste of jelly beans, so I like that. I don't like jelly beans stuck in my teeth. That's what I hate. When there's candy that can get stuck in your teeth. I hate that, but I do love the flavor of jelly beans. So it's like, I'm 50-50 on jelly beans.
Guys, especially like old school Aussies, but Musk Sticks. I cannot stand Musk Sticks.
What is that?
For Americans out there, they're these little pink candies, or lollies as they're called over here. They're a little chalky, they're a little chewy, and they taste like Pepto-Bismol. They are bright pink like Pepto-Bismol. It is disgusting because it just reminds me of being a kid with an upset stomach and my gram trying to force me to drink Pepto-Bismol, which I could not stand as a kid. I can't even stand it now as an adult. The taste is just gross.
No.
And that is...
I'll keep the upset stomach. You can keep the Pepto-Bismol. But they did have great advertising. Nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea. Yay, Pepto-Bismol. They had great advertisement. That was so catchy. But yeah, candy that tastes like Pepto-Bismol. Yeah, you can. No, that's a no-go. I'm gonna agree with you, Kaitlyn.
A candy flavor over here. Musk Sticks. It's so strange. It's so bizarre to me as an American because it just tastes like kids' medicine that I remember hated growing up. Number 3 is canned mixed alcoholic drinks. And this is something that's slowly starting to become more popular over in the States. But right before I moved over here, it wasn't that common to find canned cocktails in a lot of the wine and spirit stores, at least over in Pennsylvania where I grew up. Whereas over here, pre-mixed drinks are very, very readily available, and there's a huge variety of them. You'll find like 4 or 5 different varieties of whiskey and cola or rum and cola over here, gin and tonics, vodka sodas. There's just a lot of those easy one mixer, one spirit kind of drinks available in cans over here.
Yeah, they definitely become more common over here. You can definitely find like the mixed drinks in a can in almost all the liquor stores or beer stores now. So, but I don't like them. I do not like them. I hate them. I tried it once and I was like, no. But I don't like like mixed drinks. So it's nothing against the cans. It's just, I don't like mixed drinks.
It just surprised me because it's something that's slowly starting to become more popular in the States. Just wasn't really that popular before I moved over here. I've heard that they're coming out with more varieties and whatnot over in the States, but there's a huge variety of these pre-mixed drinks over here in Australia. It blew me away when I first walked into a Dan Murphy's. And speaking of drinks, lemon, lime, and bitters in a pub. It's one of the best drinks I have ever had. Like, it is the perfect summer drink. I think there's a tiny, tiny bit of alcohol in it, but for the most part, it's considered a non-alcoholic drink because it's so small. Like, I think it's under 1%.
Oh, wow.
But lemon, lime, and bitters is so good. It's delicious. If you ever have the chance to stop at an Aussie pub, and whether you're in the mood for a drink or not, grab a lemon, lime, and bitters because they are so incredibly good. And one thing that shocked me about pubs over here is that chicken parma or chicken parmy, whatever you want to call it, that's a little bit of a debate. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you guys call it parma or parmy? But these giant breaded chicken schnitzel parmas over here in pubs, that's such a shock to find out that not only do pubs regularly serve food over here, but that they serve decent food over here. Unless you're going to an actual restaurant, for the most part, people in the States don't go to bars to get food. You might get a couple little appetizer things or something here and there to pick at, but that's really about it. People don't go to bars for a full-on meal. They'll go to a restaurant and maybe sit at the bar and eat, but typically if people are going to bars, they're just going there for drinks, maybe a couple snacks. Not a full-on pub meal like you get here, or a pub feed, as I've also heard it called. One thing that I absolutely love is that meat pies are sold in servos over here. You can stop.
She's definitely facts. We don't. Yeah, if we're going to, if we want to eat, we'll go to a restaurant with the bar inside and sit at the bar, or we'll just order drinks from our table. But yeah, if we just go to a straight bar, we're just going there for the alcohol, like she said, or maybe a little appetizer, but like she said, for the alcohol for sure. She's spot on.
Stop in a 7-Eleven and there's like 2 or 3 different varieties of meat pies to pick from on top of like sausage rolls and spinach and feta rolls and your regular sandwiches and stuff like that. It just amazes me that meat pies are sold in servos over here. I love that. I know it's something that is so common to so many Aussies that they might not even think about it. For Americans, it's almost like when you go into a 7-Eleven and they have those taquitos or buffalo wings or pizza or those hot dogs on a roller that have been sitting in there for who knows how long. It's basically the Aussie version of those hot dogs. They're quick, they're easy, they're cheap. You know what they're going to taste like. You know that they're going to be good. I just love that that's actually a little thing over here, is being able to pick up a meat pie with a small little side of tomato sauce at like a servo. It's so cool. Number 7 are slices. And when Americans think of slices, or if you think about any sort of dessert slices, we think of slices of cake, like a slice of birthday cake.
My God. Look how absolutely gorgeous that cake looks. Oh my God, bro. Tell me you just don't want to just bite right into that. You just don't want a nice slice of that, bro.
Probably with a couple layers and frosting in between. That is what a slice would kind of be over in the States, but even then it's still just a slice of cake. We don't just call it a slice. Whereas over here, Australian slices are like these little rectangular bars. They're normally kind of dense to keep their shape, and you could have like a coconut bar, a lemon bar. I've seen caramel ones. There's just so many varieties over here. They're like these nice little rectangular desserts. And it's tough to describe because when you think slice, you kind of think of that cake sort of texture if you're American, whereas they're nothing like that. These are much more dense. Sometimes they're really crumbly, almost granola bar texture-y, depending on the type of bar and where you get it. I've had some that are filled with this really sturdy kind of custard, like you can still cut through it like it's a custard, but it holds its shape. They're just so interesting because so many places make them different, and yet at the same time, something about them was all kind of the same. You still get that rectangular shape. There's normally some sort of icing, frosting, something like that on the top of it. And normally at the bottom, at least you're going to get some sort of base, whether it's like a biscuit or some sort of granola-y crumble at the bottom. Slices in and of themselves are so good, but so different from the American, like a slice of dessert concept. One thing that I see over here, and as an American,
I would like to try these slices. Those slices, know what I'm saying? Look like they could be good. I would like to try some of these slices. I guess depending on where you get them, because you said they make them differently in different places. So. But I like to try
this is just my like 90s child on a sugar high who's disappointed in this. But cereals over here aren't as brightly colored. You're not going to have that artificial dyes and preservatives that you have in a lot of cereals and in sprinkles over here. I know it seems a little strange, but I've noticed that sprinkles don't have as much of a bright color to them here.
Really?
Whereas over in the States, you get that bright, almost neon blue. You get red that jumps out at you from like all the way down the other end of the aisle. Their colors are just so much brighter in sprinkles, in cereals, and I've heard that America is slowly starting to move away from that and is moving more towards that Australian, more natural food dye concept, which, as somebody who's becoming much more health conscious in her 30s, I could definitely appreciate that, but that 90s kid in me still misses those like bright blue colors in kids' cereals.
I didn't know that we were going towards the Australian, Europe, no dye in the food sort of thing. I guess that is a good thing.
Wheat Bix are strange because if you open up the box, it almost looks like a mini granola bar. And then you just put it in a bowl and you add milk and somehow it becomes a cereal. And people eat like 1, 2, 3, however many you want to eat. It's just so strange to me to see what looks like a granola bar in a cereal box. Now, Wheat Bix are good. I like Wheat Bix. It's a pretty decent cereal. It's just still so weird to me when I open it up and I see like these little granola bars staring back at me. And that's a cereal. Number 10 are Chocos. And I didn't grow up with Chocos in the States. They are these weird little alien star-shaped kind of vegetables. They're slimy when you peel them. They have no taste to them whatsoever. They take the taste of whatever you're actually cooking it with. And it has such a strange texture. The closest thing I could think of over in the States is cactus, but even then, cactus at least has some flavor to it. Here, Chocos have no flavor. They just take on the flavor of whatever is around them. And they're just this.
Yeah, I don't know. That picture she put up there, them Chocos do not look good. It didn't look good at all. Yeah, it looked like a no-go from here. And then after looking at it, on top of that, she said it's a vegetable. And if y'all know me, y'all watch my channel, y'all know I do not eat vegetables. I'm just not a vegetable guy. I'm more of a carnivore type of eater. Yeah, I eat mostly different kinds of meats, but yeah, the Choco didn't look good. I've never eaten cactus either, so I guess. Yeah, and I don't think I ever would eat cactus.
The strangest vegetable. It is something that I have been struggling to get used to eating, but overall there's just no taste to these things whatsoever. They're slimy. They look like some sort of weird alien pod. Very, very weird vegetable to me. Number 11 is Devon. And I know that it has different names depending on the state or even like what part of the state you live in. But Devon is essentially Australian bologna with a little bit less salt than American bologna. And I know this was like a staple for so many Aussie kids growing up. It was like Devon sandwiches and all. That is something that's very similar to a lot of American kids I know. But we grew up with bologna. We didn't grow up with Devon. And at least the bologna that I grew up with as a kid had way more salt on it than Devon does here. But it's basically...
I absolutely hate bologna. Bologna is not good. Get ham. Get turkey. Don't get bologna. Bologna's a no-go.
Basically some processed meat product that is ground up and put into a loaf, and that is a very, very common and very cheap lunch meat over here. And number 12 still amazes me when I go to the grocery stores because the variety of Arnott's biscuits blows me away. Like, people talk about the variety of foods over in the States, and we do have a huge variety.
Ridiculous.
But if you think about Oreos, there's all these different flavors of Oreos, but it's still an Oreo biscuit, an Oreo cookie. You think about chocolate chips and all the different kinds of chocolate chip cookies that we have over here, in the end it's still a chocolate chip cookie. Arnott's biscuits over here have such a huge variety to them, and they're not all repeats. It's not like you have a lemon crisp and then you have like 6 different varieties of lemon crisps or something. It's not like you have ice Vovos and there's like 4 or 5 different kinds of ice Vovos. No, the variety over here and just how different each biscuit is from each other is kind of amazing. Granted, there are like a dozen different varieties of Tim Tams, but when it comes to the other biscuits, typically the ones that you'll find in like a red...
Tim Tams are fire, bro. Shout out Australia for the Tim Tams. I haven't ate a bad Tim Tam. Even there was a mint one, and I was like, I'm not gonna like this, and I liked it. There was like a strawberry filled one or something, some kind of. I was like, I don't like those filled, and I liked it, bro. Like Tim Tams, they just don't miss. They don't miss with any other flavors.
A white or a blue packaging, it blows me away just how different and creative these are. I just picked up a few packs to bring over to the States for some of my friends and family, and I am so excited to see my goddaughter's reaction when she sees these little TikTok biscuits, because how cute are little clock biscuits for kids?
Ooh,
I just love the concept.
cool.
I love the variety that's over here. They even have a lot of gluten-free options, and we need to get like a change.org thing going on to get gluten-free Tim Tams, because I have not seen those anywhere. I just love the different styles of Arnott's biscuits over here. It's pretty incredible. Number 13 are chip sandwiches. And I've heard so many people say that when they were a kid here, they'd have white bread with butter or margarine and then crushed up Smith's chips in there.
That's
I
it?
gotta admit, I've had them and I absolutely love them. I'm not even a kid and I still love chip sandwiches, which is so incredibly unhealthy. But they're such a tasty snack. You gotta admit, chips between a piece of bread is just so good. I'm sure there are people in the States who grew up with something similar. Maybe I just didn't grow up in a household where we had chip sandwiches as a snack, but it seems like it's such a common thing for Aussie kids over here, and I just love these. Another food that
Similar in a way if I would put chips on my sandwich, like, it's not a chip sandwich, it's still like, for my sandwich, there's mayonnaise, mustard, ham, cheese, and I'll throw some Doritos, I'll throw some Lay's, I'll throw some Hot Cheetos, whatever chips are in the cupboard, throw some chips into the sandwich. But I never like imagine like just 2 pieces of bread, chips. I'm sure I could eat it. I'm sure it wouldn't be terrible. Or 2 pieces of bread with butter, margarine, chips. But I don't know. I'd be like, throw some ham and cheese on that sandwich. Then get the chips. Now we work. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking with grease. But I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But yeah, putting chips on the sandwich is nothing new. Where I guess my part of the U.S. where I come from, but I don't know anybody who eats like just chips in between piece of bread, or chips or bread, buttered bread with chips in between. I don't know anybody who ate it like that. So I guess that is a unique thing.
I just cannot seem to wrap my head around are puddings over here. Because in the States, pudding is like the Jell-O instant pudding that you would have as a kid. Those little easy pack snack packs, and they have those over here in Australia. But puddings over here are that traditional English pudding. Like when you think the song We Wish You a Merry Christmas and they're talking about figgy pudding, as an American, you have no idea what the heck they're talking about. Over here, those puddings that are like cakes that normally have some kind of topping on them, they're so good, but something about them is still just so strange because to me, it looks like a really dense cake and it tastes like a really dense cake. It's not pudding in my mind because to me, pudding is like almost liquidy.
Yeah,
so, as an American, getting used to the concept that pudding is like a really dense cake over here is something that is taking a little while for me to wrap my head around. Maybe I just need to spend a couple more Christmases here for it to finally click. But when I hear pudding, my American brain immediately jumps to those like easy pack snack packs that you have as a kid, not like sticky date pudding that you would have around Christmas. But one huge trend that I've noticed, and I think this is like a millennial generation thing, is that we are the nostalgia generation for sure. And that's not just an American thing. I know so many Aussies who are in my generation who reminisce about what it was like in the 80s and 90s, particularly when it comes to like 90s kids party foods. Things like fairy bread and chocolate crackles and frog in a pond. For some reason, 90s kids, this was apparently a staple at birthday parties over here. And along with that comes this book. Like, for some reason, the cakes in this book are legendary over here in Australia, and as an American, I don't get it. I didn't grow up here, I wasn't raised here, and hearing how many people know this book and love this book and have tried to either make a cake from this book or have had a cake from this book, this thing of kids' birthday party cakes is just absolutely iconic here. And so many people I know have had some sort of cake baked from a recipe in this book. I don't know what it is about that one book that became so incredibly popular over here. There is nothing like that over in the States, trust me. Number 17.
Nah, not like no cake. Nah, that I think she's right about that. Not that I know of. Not no cake book that's just that popular. But I've never baked an actual cake, so.
And I have a personal love for these are Pikelets. Those tiny little pancakes that you get in a bag over here. Over in the States, they're the size of what we call silver dollar pancakes, so probably about the third of a size of a regular pancake. I just love that you can buy Pikelets in little bags over here. And they don't last you very long, not only because they're really, really good, they don't last long. If you have them on yourself for more than like 2 or 3 days, they go completely stale. On top of that, you don't just have them with maple syrup. You could. They're essentially a little pancake. But over here, it's very common to have it with afternoon tea, with some cream and some jelly. Or not jelly, it's jam over here. Jelly over here is what they call Jello. Having Pikelets with cream and jam is so common over here. Sometimes you'll have it with scones or crumpets as well. And they're absolutely delicious. I love them. I also love that you can buy full-size pancakes in a bag over here. There's a reason I'm struggling to lose weight over here, you guys. In case you haven't figured it out, I have a massive sweet tooth, and Pikelets have not helped. 18 is...
Nah, that's Pikelets, yeah. I mean, the pancakes, but thinking of pancakes with, like, jam. I don't know if I'm a big cream fan. I never really tried it on a pancake. But a pancake with jam could be really good.
Lemonade, and I mentioned this in a video before, but lemonade over here in Australia is so different from lemonade over in the States. In the States, we think of that country time lemonade mix, or we think of homemade with lemons and sugar and water, and that's it. Over here, lemonade is pretty much any sort of lemon lime soft drink, so something like a Sprite or a 7-Up is what's called lemonade over here. And to me, whenever I hear somebody say lemonade, I still think of that old, like, country time pink lemonade mix growing up with as a kid. So for me, lemonade is a little bit of a shock. I'm getting a bit more used to it though. But when somebody first says lemonade, I still think of the stuff that I grew up with in the States as a kid. Definitely not the kind of lemonade that you grow up with here in Australia. 19, I don't know why these aren't a thing in America. Because they're so simple, they're so easy to make. They're delicious, and it's great for parties or for barbecues, and that is a potato bake. They're just not popular over in the States. You'll hear people talk about like potato scallop or scallop potatoes. That's the closest thing we have to a potato bake. That is something that is just not popular over in the States.
Yeah,
and I don't know why, because it's so easy. It's so simple. It's like what? Potatoes, cream, cheese, and then you throw in some herbs or some spices, like maybe salt and pepper and garlic and whatever else you want to throw in there. It's so easy to do. It's quick and easy for parties.
Thinking about that, yeah, just a square of that smothered in ketchup or tomato sauce. That sounds absolutely wonderful.
I don't know why that hasn't picked up in popularity over in the States, but they're so easy and they're so good. Last one on this list, number 20, is the ridiculous variety of Cadbury bars over here. You guys, I absolutely love this. I know that I love having variety. I grew up in the States. I'm used to having variety when it comes to things like candies and chocolates and sweets. But the amount or the variety of Cadbury chocolate bars here blows my mind. And I'm used to variety. Some of them are absolute classics. You have just the regular classic milk chocolate bar, and then you have the Milky Top bars, and then you have ones with mint, and you have ones with these different kinds of candies and mix-ins thrown in there. You have ones with different fillings. You have snack bars, which have like 5 or 6 different types of candy bars all rolled into one. It's absolutely mind-boggling, and I love snack bars, by the way, except for the Turkish Delight ones. If they can get rid of that, snack bars would be perfect. They do not need to have Turkish Delight in snack bars, but that is just my opinion. And y'all know how much I hate Turkish Delight. There's a bonus one, Turkish Delight. It's absolutely disgusting. But the variety of Cadbury bars over here is absolutely incredible. I love some of them. The clinker ones, oh my god, they're absolutely delicious. I love Milky Top. I love the snack bars. I love the breakaway bars that they just came out with. There's just such a huge variety here. Absolutely amazing, and one of, like, it's become one of my favorite things about Australian foods. It's just the crazy variety of Cadbury bars that are over here. So that's it for this video, you guys. Maybe if you're like me, you're about to go on a sugar high after hearing about chocolate. If there's anything in this video that surprised you at all, let me know in the comments down below if there's anything you think I missed. So if you guys like this video, please hit the like and subscribe button down below. I so greatly appreciate the support, you guys. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye.
Yeah, there are a lot of things that I really hadn't heard of, and that Australian chocolate top tier, chef's kiss. That's all we got. You guys got a favorite video suggestion? You can subscribe to Patreon and drop it in the comment section. It's your boy D-Neal, out.